Good morning. I don't know what time of day it'll be when you watch this, but hello. Welcome back to Wendy's Way. My project today, you could call it food, you could call it bonus, you can call it whatever you want. I am going to be tackling repotting my tomato starts. I need to get my camera up here, don't I? Hello. I'm going to be repotting my tomato plants this morning. I'm taking them out of the little bitty cups that I started them in because I have multiple plants per little bitty cup and they're growing incredibly well, and it's time for me to separate them out and put them in bigger pots to keep them growing until it gets warm enough outside that I can get my rain gutter grow system set up and take them out and get them planted. So here we go. Let's jump in again and do it Wendy's way. These are the tomato plant starts that I'm going to be repotting. And if I have counted correctly, I have 41 tomato plants, or 45. Maybe 45 tomato plants of all different kinds. As you can see, the only thing that failed me so far is ground cherries. But I'm going to try again. I'll get some fresh plants in. And these are the tools I'm going to be using today. My dad brought me up a whole bunch of these plastic plant pots with holes in the bottom. He went up to Elma, Iowa, where there is a large Mennonite community, and they have a plant and food auction. They do all kinds of amazing things up there, and he bought a whole bunch of flowers last year, so I get his pots. Anyway, I put my mix, my soil mix, in a bowl. I'm going to be adding a bunch of water to it to make it really good and moist. You know, like it would stick together if you wanted it to, but you know, it's not mud. That way, I'm going to put that moist soil in the pot, make the hole, put the plant in there, and that way I don't ever have to water them from the top, because I'll be putting them back in trays so that since those pots have holes in the bottom, I'll be watering them from the bottom. But now I'm not going to have them in rows anymore, so I'm going to have to put an individual stick in each pot telling me what it is. I've got a little butter knife to carefully get in between the tomato plants and separate them out before I get them in those pots. So here's my tools. I'm gonna jump in and I'll show you again when I get further along. Working my way along, and I realized that there is one tool I forgot to show you. I just pulled it out of the drawer. I am using this meat tenderizer. Actually, I'm not using that end of it. I'm using this end of it to make the perfect size hole to shove my sweet little tomato plants into. So there we are. Another tool with multi-purposes. So this is what it looks like when you get all of your tomato plants repotted. And I have to say, oh my goodness, how am I gonna get these under the grow light? I'll be able to get most of them under a grow light yet, but they're looking pretty good and they're pretty good size. I ended up with 48 tomato plants, and only one of them is really looking puny. I have Yellow Pear Red Cherry, Bonny Beefsteak, Purple Russian, and I don't remember anything else. Anyway, I have those varieties, and I'm giving a lot of thought to taking them to the hometown marketplace that I am hosting next weekend. And, you know, seeing if people are ready to take home a tomato plant and give it some loving care until it's time to be planted, because heaven knows I don't need 48 of them. I'll keep a bunch. But I'm really excited. This is my first time, everybody. I only have one thing to say about Polly today. She did not carry her weight. Now this is what I call convoluted. I took the grow lights that I had and I spread them out as best I could so that 48 tomato plants in big pots. Hello, neighbor. And that flat that is still full of plastic cups of peppers all get a bit of light. I opened up the curtains so that we could get some natural light in. And after I got these all fit on there, which was just about more than I could do, I had to carry in 5 gallons of water just to put a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 inch of water in every tray. And I wet the water before I repotted, or wet the soil before I repotted. So, holy tomato plants, Batman. I have to say, repotting those little tomato plants, wow, that's work. And it was awesome. I loved every minute of it. But I realized, when I got done, let me get my camera where it ought to be. I realized when I got done that right now, the one thing I need most is a greenhouse. I just don't have the space. I have shelf units and grow lights for when I'm first getting things started, and that's awesome. But once they're big enough to repot, I don't have any place to put them, and they really need to be like in a greenhouse setting or a sun porch or something like that. So I guess I've decided that my first real goal with my Patreon account is to try and save up enough money so that we can either build a greenhouse over top of our deck so that it's connected to the house and, we can just open up the sliding doors and go out into it, or purchase a small kit that, again, we can set up on top of our deck. It's not going to get afternoon sun because it's on the east side of the house, but it would be so helpful when starting seeds and propagating plants. I tell you what, life is so good. I got a workout today. In a body this size, it doesn't take much to start huffing and puffing. When you don't give up those Marlboros until after you've enjoyed them for 20 years. I'm not sure my lungs will ever be the same. But if I could lose, about 80 pounds, oh man, I'd be downright dangerous. Let's work on it, shall we? I thank you so much for joining me today as I repotted my plants, and I hope you'll come back and join me again here at Wendy's Way. May the good Lord who blesses me today and always bless you as well, now and forever. Amen.